Local, breaking news. This is News Channel 3 covering West Michigan live at 5.
Police are on the scene for hours overnight in Barry County where a motorcycle driver crashes into a tree. We'll have the latest.
And Governor Snyder gears up to unveil a new plan today that could affect what you pay at the pump, but could also help Michigan's crumbling roads. We're live breaking it down.
Plus, new video into our newsroom this morning of police firing tear gas into a crowd of Occupy Wall Street protesters. Today is Wednesday, October 26th. Good morning, I'm Josh Rowe.
And I'm Marcy Koberger. Thanks so much for waking up with us this morning. We're working to get more information this morning on a serious motorcycle crash in Barry County. It happened on Hickory Road near Fine Lake. Now, that's in the southern part of the county near Hickory Corners. Now, what we know at this point is the motorcycle driver hit a tree. Police were on scene for hours investigating. The driver's condition and name are not being released at this point. We'll bring you more information on this crash as soon as we learn more.
Are you willing to pay more at the pump to help Michigan's crumbling roads? That could happen in the future under a new proposal from Governor Snyder. Today he's unveiling a new plan that would change the way gas is taxed. It would not cost you more at first, but it could down the road. Jessica Wheeler joins us live now from Kalamazoo with more on the proposal and what that means for you. Jessica.
Yeah, Josh, the governor wants to drop the tax that Michigan charges on each gallon of gas. Instead, he wants to tax the wholesale price of fuel. Now, his plan would help pay for our crumbling roads, bridges, and sewer systems in our state. The new tax would be about 6.7%, and drivers really wouldn't initially see their out-of-pocket expenses rise because of the change. But as inflation pushes fuel prices up, the state could bring in more money to address infrastructure needs. Here's a breakdown for you. When you fill up your car right now, the state charges you 19 cents per gallon of gas, regardless of the per gallon price. So each 15-gallon fill up, the tax is $2.85. But under the governor's proposal, you would pay a tax on the wholesale price. Now, the wholesale price is generally about 50 cents per gallon lower than the retail cost. So when purchasing those same 15 gallons of gas at $3.25 per gallon at the pump, the 6.7% wholesale tax would amount to $2.76. Now, the tax on a fill-up would rise to $3.27 if gas were priced at $3.75 per gallon. So again, on a day like today, where we're seeing gas prices at $3.29 a gallon, the governor's proposal really not going to make that much of a difference for you. Now, he is expected to lay out the complete plan later today at a speech where he plans to address our state's roads and bridges. Of course, we'll be following his speech. We'll bring you details on his plan throughout the day. Reporting live in Kalamazoo, Jessica Wheeler, News Channel 3.
Okay, thank you, Jessica. We want to know what you think about this new plan. Do you think it's a good idea?
And you can weigh in this morning on our Facebook page. We'll share some of your thoughts throughout the morning.
Testimony continues today in Traverse City after an emotional day as a teenager admits he murdered his friend.
You have something to tell her. Sorry, Susan.
Robert Schwander confessed to the jury on Tuesday he killed 16-year-old Carly Lewis, but he says he did not mean to do it. Schwander says his parents kicked him out of the house because he got caught sneaking out, and Carly's mom let him stay at her house for more than a month. Schwander is expected to take the stand again today, explaining how he says it happened. Police found Carly's body in a sand pile in June, 2 weeks after she was reported missing. A Vicksburg man is expected in court today after being involved with an hours-long standoff with police. Nicholas Hambright is charged with resisting and obstructing police and domestic violence. Police say he barricaded himself in a home on 18th Street in Schoolcraft early Monday morning. People who were in the house with him say he fired shots and would not let them leave. Deputies finally arrested him after they fired tear gas into the house.
A new picture is released of a woman beaten, burned, and left for dead in Kent County. Grand Rapids police hope it can help generate new leads in the case. Right now, Lori Lee is in the hospital recovering from serious injuries, unable to talk to police. The attack happened overnight on October 8th. Lee managed to get to a house on Godfrey Avenue near Ellen and ask for help. Now, this is a picture of what investigators believe Lee was wearing the day of the attack. It was taken from a security camera. They're hoping it jogs someone's memory and will help lead them to who is responsible for this brutal crime. If you have any information, please call Grand Rapids Police or Silent Observer. You could be eligible for a $1,000 reward. Well, good news this morning for millions of college students paying back their student loans. President Obama is planning to use his executive authority to help ease the financial burden. Well, today in Denver, he'll announce a plan that would allow eligible borrowers to consolidate and lower their student loan payments. The measure works by reducing the payment cap on student loans from 15% of discretionary income to 10%. The change would take effect next year instead of 2014. The White House says the program could help nearly 7.5 million people with no additional costs to taxpayers.
We continue to follow the big story that's been developing for days in Turkey. Another earthquake survivor is found alive this morning. An 18-year-old was pulled from the rubble of an apartment building nearly 3 days after that devastating quake. The teen was badly injured but was alive. Just yesterday morning, there was another dramatic rescue. A mother and her 2-week-old infant were pulled from the debris. Right now, the death toll is still climbing, now stands at 459.
In California, Occupy Wall Street protesters are refusing to back down, clashing with police yet again.
You must leave now. If you refuse to move, you will be arrested.
Late last night, hundreds of demonstrators marched through downtown Oakland, and police used tear gas to disperse the crowd. Some protesters were hurt, and in all, 85 were arrested. The tension boiled over earlier in the day when police evicted demonstrators from a plaza because of sanitation and safety concerns. Oakland officials say they support the protesters' freedoms, but the city is now restricting the hours of assembly.
An update now to a story we told you about yesterday. A Montcalm County family gets a chance in the spotlight on the Anderson Cooper Show. This is the Consitis family. They live on a farm in Coral. They're proud of the fact that they are completely cut off from electricity and all the luxuries that come with it. Anderson Cooper paired them up with a family who's hooked on technology. For a week, the Nunez family lived in their guest cottage. The Consitis has taught them how to make soap, heat their own water, and feed farm animals. The Nunezes were more than a little uncomfortable, but they eventually came around. The Consitis family has lived this way for years and say they couldn't be happier.
I'm just really thankful we took the plunge 3 years ago to do this, living off grid, because our oldest daughter is going to be 18 this Sunday, and you know, we had that 3 years to really connect as a family with all 6 of the children.
After the life swap, the Nunez kids say they actually like spending time away from video games and cell phones in exchange for more real family activities. If you like to go off of the grid yourself, the Consitis family rents out the guest cottage on the farm, so you can go up there and just live with them and make your soap and heat your water with the fire and all that stuff as much as you want. Feel free.
Unplug a little bit and, you know, take yourself off the grid, you know, mentally and all those other things.
Experience nature and farm life.
I think the whole making soap thing, I think that would be pretty cool.
It would be pretty cool. You know, I said yesterday I could do that. That said, I do like technology. Technology is pretty awesome. We've worked very hard. Soap is great. We've worked very hard, you know, to develop all these things that you use to make your life easier.
And they do.
And they do.
Most of the time.
Most of the time. Add to the list of things you should never do. Taking a bet that you could fit into a child's swing. A man from California learned this the hard way when he took a bet for $100, and sure enough, he got stuck in one of those things. He thought he was pretty smart too. He got all lubed up with liquid laundry detergent and squeezed himself in, but then his friends left him. He was there for 9 hours later screaming for help. Rescuers had to come out there and get him out of that seat. I think top of the list of things to do today, get new friends. The first thing you need to do is get rid of all those folks who left you there for 9 hours.
Well, I hope they gave him that $100.
Yeah, right. I understand. Okay, maybe initially this is a weird, I'm out of here. But just to disappear for a whole 9 hours and never go back to check on the guy either, that's not good.
No, that's not very nice.
No.